السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أنا غادة الساكت، مدرسة لغة إنجليزية ومدربة معتمدة، خبرة أكثر من 10 سنين في مجال التعليم ومهتمة بتطوير التعليم في مصر. I am غادة الساكت. I am an English teacher and a certified trainer. I have more than 10 years of experience in the field of education, and I am concerned with improving the quality of education in Egypt. Today is our first day on the workshop of making flashcards. I have prepared for you a series of courses or workshops on the field of teaching skills. And the flashcards or making the flashcards is one of a group from this series. Making flashcards is a workshop that is going to be held for 4 days. And today is our first day. So let's start together what we are going to learn during this workshop. What is the flashcard? Why to use flashcards? How to make flashcards? Different uses of flashcards. And finally, tips for better flashcards. Today is day 1, and what we are going to take during this day are the following. We are going to define flashcards, learn about different types of flashcards, why we are going to use flashcards, and applications or uses of flashcards efficiently in the classroom. First of all, let's start with the definition of the flashcard. What is the flashcard? It is a card that contains information for the student to learn or comprehend. As you can see here, this is a flashcard that I have prepared. It contains some information which is the objective of my activity or game to comprehend or to be memorized by the student. Flashcard types. We have many types of flashcards. The first type is one-sided flashcard. It's typically like this one, where you just put information or your content only on one side of the flashcard. On the other side, there is nothing. And for that reason, it's called one-sided flashcard. The second type, as you can see here in this presentation, two-sided flashcard. And it is like this one. We have information or content on this side, and we have information or content on the other side. So we have content on the two sides of the flashcard, and for that reason it's called two-sided flashcard. You have to decide which type you are going to use that serves your objectives. The third type here is three-sided flashcard. We have here 3 sides in a digital flashcard. Yeah, this type of cards is not made of paper, but it is digital. So, you have 3 sides. The first 2 sides are of your choice. You might write the word, you might write the definition, you might put a picture, you might put an example, whatever you like. So we can arrange together now. One side contains the word and the other side contains the definition. One side contains the word, side number 2 contains a picture for the word. Side number 1 contains a word and side number 2 contains example. What about the third side? The third side always will contain an audio, a pronunciation for the word. So, on the 3-sided flashcards, we put the word, definition, audio. Word, picture, audio. Word, translation, audio. Picture, definition, audio. Like that. You have the decision to choose what you're going to do on the first two sides, but the third side is fixed. It's always an audio and it is digital. I'm going to provide you with a link for a website that helps you make a three-sided flashcards if you have the equipment in your classroom to use this type of flashcards. Why flashcards are so effective? Because students interact with the information. So when the student holds the flashcard, you give him the chance to touch it, hold it, read it, and interact with it, so it is a vivid experience and a good learning experience that will teach him or her a lot. Number two, it improves memory because of the activity or the game that you use. Using your flashcards, the student is going to repeat what inside the card many times, and that will improve the memory of the student. Number three, increases information retention. What is information retention? It is the time of keeping the information inside the mind of the student. And it is our problem in the Egyptian community. The student studies or learns to keep the information to the day of the exam only. And after the exam, he forgets everything. Why? Because he doesn't use information retention methodology, or he do not keep the information on his mind because he doesn't need this information. So flashcards offers us this ability. The student keeps the information or improves his information retention while using flashcard, and he can keep the information inside his mind longer than the day of the exam. Number four, encourages self-confidence. Why? Because the student is going to do an activity or a game using the flashcard. The flashcard offers a very simple way to answer a simple task on an objective. So the student 90% is going to answer correctly. Just pronounce the word. He's going to pronounce it. Tell me an example. He's going to tell you an example. Match this word with its picture. He is going to match. Answer the question written on the flashcard. He is going to answer simply. So many tasks you are going to give to the student are going to be answered by the student. So that will encourage his self-confidence. Number five, the flashcard allows spaced repetition. What is repetition? Repetition is repeating the content of the flashcard. For example, if I have a card that contains a word like car, and the teacher tells the student, please repeat after me, car, car, car. And the student is going to repeat endlessly and feels that this is a very big nonsense, because he thinks that repeating is something is not necessary. But when you put the flashcard in front of the student, he is going to look at it and depend upon his sight for many times. For many times, he is going to look at the flashcard and look to something else, then look back to the flashcard and look to something else. He is going to answer a question on the flashcard, and he's going to look to his friend, then he is going to look again because he wants to tell you the word again. So this is a spaced repetition, unintentional repetition. He's going to repeat without saying, but he's going to repeat by watching. Number six, students do not need support. Okay, you are as a teacher going to give the flashcards to the student, or to all the students, and teach them How is the activity going to be? And tell them the game is like that and this. And they're going to interact together and do the activity together, and they are not going to need your support, so you are going to save your effort. Application. Okay, now we have learned about the flashcards and different types of flashcards and why flashcards is very good in the classroom. How to use this? How to apply this? First, I have picked for you here a very famous game, which is memory game. Here we have set of cards. The teacher is going to cut them by scissors, and I have here for you 3 games. The first game, the teacher is going to put the flashcards in front of the student like this, and the student is going to watch. And then we're going to put the cards upside down and ask the student to match the word with the picture without turning the flashcard again. So, without watching, of course. So, I'm going to pick this card with this card. So, this one is car and this one is van. This is a picture of van and this is the word car. So, they are not a match. So, we are going to turn them back. It's like the memory game that we do with the playing cards. Another player or another student is going to pick 2 cards and turn them, and we're going to find here the word bus and the picture of the bus, and this is a match. So this student is going to win these 2 cards. The winner is the one who can collect more cards or most of the cards. Game number 2 with the memory game. You give the students a set of pictures or a set of words. Put these flashcards in front of the students. Give them 1 minute and ask them to memorize the pictures or the words. Then hide these pictures or words and ask the students to tell you the pictures that you have hidden. So if they answer you well, the student who answers you well is the winner. And if they didn't, they have to memorize them again. Another game, you can put also the set of the cards in front of the students and ask them to memorize them again for 1 minute. Then you can remove 1 card of these flashcards and then ask the student to tell you what is the missing flashcard or what is the missing picture. The student who can tell you the missing picture is the winner. Game number 2 is matching game. As you can see here in this picture, we have a set of words and a picture of the clock or of the clock, and the student has to match the time with the correct time, the word with the correct time here in the second picture. We're going to mix the pictures here and we're going to mix the words here, and the student is going to match this word, this picture, and if they are a good match, you are correct. You can make it like a competition between 2 groups or 3 groups according to the number of your students. The passing game is one of the good games because students are going to sit together as a circle. You as a teacher are going to hold your flashcard. If you are talking about vocabulary, for example, you're going to pronounce the word car and then pass the flashcard to a student and ask him to pronounce car, then pass it, car, then so on. If we are giving something else rather than vocabulary, for example, if we are teaching science, math, or even reading or grammar, you can put on the flashcard the question and ask and pass the flashcard to a student. Ask the student to answer the question. If he answers it well, he can passes it again to another student and so on. jump on it game. This game is designed for naughty children or who are hyper or having a lot of energy, and this kind of students are categorized as having kinesthetic intelligence. They are intelligent, and we have to use the power they have positively by using a game like this one. I'm going to give you to show you. This is a very big flashcard I have designed for something like that. You're going to design many flashcards this size and throw them all on the floor. You can put on them words or even pictures also according to the age of the students, the stage, their level, their number, and this stuff. And you throw them all on the floor next, and you're going to say the word, and the student is going to jump over the words you say, and from one word to another, like that. And the one who arrives to the end is the winner. You can use also flashcards as playing cards, like here, and could be used in math, of course. You can also use flashcards in board games like this one here, like Monopoly or Ludo, or these games. You can put whatever content inside the flashcard that serves your objectives of the lesson. Types of flashcards according to the making method. We have two types of flashcards if we are talking about how to make it. You can make it by your hand, like this one. I'm going to show you. This one, I'm happy to introduce for you my very first flashcard that I have prepared by hand. I write by my hand using pens. I cut with scissors. I glue with glue stick. And everything I do is by my hand. The second type is called, like here, machine made. Machine made means that I used machines to make flashcards, like this one, for example, or even this one that I have showed you at the beginning. All these flashcards I have made by machines. First, you write what is inside. I mean the content, using computer programs, and we're going to learn about all this. You use, if you can see with me, this transparent part. I used a lamination machine to laminate the paper. Lamination makes the flashcard stronger. You can keep it for longer times. You can use it for years without being corrupted, because it's saved by this lamination. You can also give the chance to students to write on it using the board markers, and you can erase it easily with tissue, because this lamination is like a whiteboard. So we are going to learn about all this, inshallah, in the coming lectures. So till this, we have arrived to the end of our first day, and I'm going to give you your first assignment. Choose the type of flashcards that is suitable to your content and tell me why. So you are going to write for me. I'm going to use a one-sided flashcard, and it is handmade, or a three-sided flashcard. It is electronic, or two-sided. You are going to tell me which type you have chosen and why. Why means you are going to mention the number of your students, your objectives, your subject, of course, what you are going to teach, the number of your students, and the stage. You are teaching primary, KG, what stage you are teaching. So you have to include all these details in your assignment. Write in the comments below the answer of your assignment, and I will check and tell you my feedback tomorrow, inshallah. It was nice to give you this lecture, and I hope it is beneficial for you all. Thank you very much. Until we meet tomorrow, inshallah. See you. Bye bye.